Hi. So recently I decided that I want the staple keyboard for TAIKO, which is, well, you should probably know it. It's the world-renowned Bitfirst BFKB113PBK, or the BFKB for short. It's been 2 weeks since I first received this keyboard, and I wanted to give it a review because it seems like there's really few people reviewing this keyboard on YouTube, so might as well. Note that while I'm currently quite decently ranked at around 700-ish, my skill is abysmal, so take this review with a grain of salt. First of all, before starting on the keyboard itself, I will use another scissor switch that I own and I have used in the past as the baseline, which is the IROX scissor switch keyboard. Now, on the review. First of all, I will start with the appearance and the build quality of the BFKB. The BFKB is as expected, feels and looks like a normal keyboard you'll find around an office somewhere. However, I do think that the BFKB is more premium looking, so to speak. Might be just for me, but the sharp corners make it feel more elegant. However, the one thing I do not like is the fact that the surface of the keyboard is made of glossy plastic. It attracts a lot of fingerprints and easily gets dirty. Other than that, this keyboard is generally pretty okay in build quality. Next up is the feel of the keyboard itself. One thing that stands out about the key feel is about how bouncy they feel. When you tap with a bit extra force, the switch will force your finger to bounce off the keycaps. For me personally, as an index-only player that needs to shift around the keys a lot, I find this really helpful for conserving stamina, because when I tap and it bounces back, it means that I will spend less stamina to switch between the keys, and it does feel like a bit of a cheat in some way. For the tactility, I do find that the BFKB is a bit less tactile than the IROX keyboard. However, for me, the strength of the tactility in BFKB suits me more, as I find the IROX's tactility to be a bit too much. For the weighting of the switch itself, they have medium stiffness, not too light but not too heavy either. Next up is the performance of the keyboard. The one thing that I hate about the IROX keyboard is how easy it is to drop inputs if you go too fast on that thing. However, with the BFKB, it is no problem, as I don't have any case of input drops during the 2 weeks of my testing. The BFKB also has N key rollover, so if you want to play something that requires more than 2 keys to be pressed at once, this keyboard has you covered. Again, that is something I have problem with the IROX keyboard. And lastly, on the performance is the polling rate. The BFKB polls at 1000 Hz and the IROX polls at 125. I will say that at least for me, the thing about polling rates are a bit exaggerated, as even with 125 Hz I can play decently well and get good accuracy. However, I do feel a bit of an improvement when changing to the BFKB, mainly on the tapping consistency, as my average UR drops a bit from 90 to 100-ish to around 70 and 90-ish, sometimes even getting as low as 50 UR. Last thing I want to talk about is the price, which is something that most people will probably think about before buying this keyboard, as the keyboard is so fucking expensive for a membrane keyboard. This keyboard can cost you up to $100, which is just unbelievable for what is basically an office keyboard. Now, the keyboard itself retails at 5 to 7,000 yen, which is $35 to $50, but that does not account for the shipping fees and stuff you have to pay. So if you want to buy it, I recommend waiting for Bayi or other proxy services to give you a discount on shipping. I was lucky enough that there was someone willing to sell their BFKB locally here in Indonesia for 1 million rupiahs, or around $67. Thanks, Mr. XK2238. That's it for my short and scarf review of the BFKB. Thanks to Zavier for helping me making this video. Bye.